My name's Eli.
My name is Curly.
I am Gadiel De Orbe.
We are men doing therapy for the first time.
I don't know anything about therapy. I still don't understand the concept of it. I'm here to learn more about it.
I never thought I needed therapy. I think as a man and also as a Latin man, it's not something talked about, it's seen as weakness.
But I've never done it because in my family, we were always told that therapy and anything that has to do with it was very much like a white American thing.
Latinos we do not really talk about mental health.
Any thought of needing help kind of shows just a crack in who you are as a man.
They always wanted us to figure it out for ourselves because they were like, we did it, why can't you?
To be honest with you, I'm walking in here with a clear mind, but at the same time, I want to learn more about it. Is this truly something that benefits people?
I'm hoping that this experience will not only help other men to feel more comfortable with the idea of it, because I know it does help, but also make me feel more comfortable and being able to tackle some of those issues.
Today we're gonna meet a therapist for the first time.
I'm excited to meet this therapist. Vamos arriba.
I think this is a new step for me and I'm really looking forward to it.
Hi, my name is Adriana Alejandre. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and founder of Latinx Therapy. It was founded so that people can have a source for mental health. We took it upon ourselves to start a directory where people can find a Latinx therapist also. Today, a therapist from our network will be providing therapy services.
Hi guys.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Likewise, I'm Maritza Plasencia, licensed marriage and family therapist, and I'm here today to do a one-on-one session with all three of you. I've been a therapist since 2009, and I'm very experienced working with Latinx men.
What's the difference between like Latinx men?
Latinx men tend to have a more difficult time to open up emotionally because there's a lot of stigma behind that. So I'm pretty comfortable helping Latinx men through the process of getting to that more comfortable place in therapy.
I'm nervous, I gotta say. The fact that you have a lot of experience working with Latin men specifically, I don't know, I'm feeling like I'm seeing like a medium or something. Like, I don't know, it's
I
like,
know, that's what it feels like we're gonna talk to a psychic.
And this is going on video.
What I know is how to guide you to get more in touch with what it is that you're comfortable putting out there for anybody to know.
What is the process like when it comes to a therapy session?
We start wherever you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable talking about anything in particular about yourselves, we can start with answering questions about therapy. When somebody's never experienced therapy, that's where I start with them and just kind of putting them at ease, letting them know that those are very common concerns that most men come into therapy with.
Because I always seen therapy as an American thing.
That's what I was saying too.
I didn't grow up in my household like, if I asked my mommy, let's go to therapy. ¿Cómo que therapy? ¿Qué necesita therapy? El diablo. Tú estás bien ahí, allá en la República hay gente que está pasando hambre y están feliz. Y están feliz.
¿Por qué tienes ansiedad? Like, why? And so I'm like, oh, I don't have anxiety. Maybe it's fine, I'm fine.
especially being a man as well, is like, I think you just have to you have to be strong.
It is seen as like a weakness, you
Yeah.
know? We're told to be self-reflective, like, deal with it.
What can we expect?
You can expect for me to answer any questions if you just want to focus on us just talking about your concerns about therapy, or if you have anything in particular that you want to and feel comfortable talking about. And then you might even walk away thinking, I want to go do therapy after this.
Yeah.
So,
I just
yeah.
got nervous. I was fine until I was like, what? I have to open up now.
Right. What I want to understand, is therapy, What's the point of it and what can I get out of it?
Therapy is something that people typically find helpful because it allows you to get to know yourself on a deeper level.
I learned a lot from sitting down in that session. What's the point of therapy? Getting into the session, I was nervous. I was scared because I'm like, now I gotta be vulnerable. I'm not used to being vulnerable. And also I grew up with the idea that being vulnerable is weakness. But then I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna have a therapist right here, I'm gonna take advantage of this shit. I'm gonna use it, let's see. Sometimes I don't know how to react to certain situations emotionally, or I'm just not available emotionally for things.
What does that look like for you?
For instance, like I have bad relationships because I can't be vulnerable. That's one thing I do want to work on because
Yeah.
I am single For that reason. We talked about that I want to be more emotional. I have a hard time being vulnerable. I haven't been in a relationship in a really long time. Yo puedo pasar el tiempo con una mujer y disfrutar el tiempo. Me canso rápido.
¿Cuáles son las señales a las que te indican que ya te estás cansando?
Lo que me han contado es que ella se siente que alguna vez estoy caliente y alguna vez estoy frío.
Cuando tú eras niño, ¿eso siempre fue la situación?
Mi mamá siempre fue fría.
Eso es algo que aprendiste.
Aprendí, sí. And my sister grew up in this household that didn't know how to be loving. So that's a since I'm the older brother, I make sure that I'm loving to all my brothers and sisters. Yo me he enfocado en ser más cariñoso con ellas porque yo sé que ellas no lo han recibido en la casa, no se han criado con eso. Yo quiero ser la persona que sea cariñosa en su vida. So yo no tengo ese miedo ser cariñoso con mi hermano. The problem is when I date somebody and I like somebody, I don't express that shit to them.
Cuando piensas en el miedo que surge dentro de un date, ¿qué es lo que viene a tu mente cuando surge ese miedo? Si soy cariñoso, ¿qué?
Tal vez que se desencante. La primera novia mía, yo estaba bien enamorado. No se lo demostraba por no asustarla. You know, I said, I love you. And she was like, what? You don't mean it. Ella como se asustó un poco cuando yo le dije que yo la quiero.
Entonces eso para ti significó, ok, no hay seguridad en expresar el amor. Entonces eso fue el mensaje que tú internalizaste.
Sí.
Sí. Cuando nosotros estamos en una relación íntima y venimos con esas ideas, ponemos expectativas a veces que no son realistas. Dentro de una relación siempre va a haber cierto nivel de amor, tal vez para ti el amor va a ser más en ciertos momentos y para la otra persona menos, y a veces va a cambiar, pero es algo que va evolucionando y con el tiempo la relación aprende a sostener esos cambios.
Dime, doctora, ¿cómo puedo sacar ese miedo?
No soy doctora.
I kept making jokes because when I feel uncomfortable, I'm gonna say jokes. I'm a comedian. She explained it in a way that it takes time and it's a process, and when it comes to emotions, you have to soften it up like Play-Doh.
La manera que sacamos el miedo por una herida emocional es enfrentándolo. Es como agarrar una bola de Play-Doh y jugarla, hasta que nosotros le demos la forma que necesitamos darle, que funciona para nosotros. Y déjame te digo otra cosa, yo sé que tal vez en las calles nos enseñan a que el ser vulnerable es ser débil.
But not being able to be vulnerable is actual weakness. When she explained that to me, I was like, boom! Muchas gracias por la sesión. Me encantó mucho. Dame darte un abrazo porque como somos latinos, abrazamos todo el mundo.
I feel like I'm in a haunted house and the ghosts are like my past emotions.
It feels like you're in a haunted house.
Yeah. So what we discussed in the session was essentially just like how the session was gonna go and how I perceived being in that space of walking into a haunted house and being afraid to see ghosts. She's so amazing that she's able to just look straight to your soul and say, why are you feeling that way?
Tell me what's happening for you right now.
I just am nervous because it's like I know it's haunted and I know I'm gonna probably see a ghost, but I don't know what I'm gonna do once I see it.
Okay.
So.
What's the worst that could happen?
I don't know. I guess in this experience, it's just like I've been such a hustler in my life where I've worked so hard. I want to, provide for my family and I want to take care of my mom and I want to do all these things. And I'm afraid that oh man, if I go back to the base of who I am through this experience and I've already built all this life and hustle and it's like a Jenga piece where I feel like I'm building, but I feel if I mess with that bottom, it may affect all the work I've already done. I came in super confident. Me and Maya had this idea to do this video and I was super open to do it. Sitting in there, I was ready to go and I just immediately felt uncomfortable. And I immediately felt afraid because I'd never been able to express myself in that way before.
In therapy, we can start where it feels safe.
Okay.
What's something safe that we can start with?
I think my dating life, a big thing for me doing this is like I'm noticing the generational curses in my family. I'm like, I am not a part of the history of like good, solid relationships. And I notice that I'm getting older and I'm like, man, hopefully this isn't like an issue that I can't like connect with someone in a way.
And that's a pretty good spot to start with because that's probably what's most relevant in your life right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, LA's lonely. It's a thing.
What happened right now that you said that?
I smiled. I looked over to everybody.
Well, I'm wondering, like, what was it that was going on for you as you said that? Because it's almost like you caught yourself.
I guess. I mean, I guess I had to follow up with like a joke. Everyone said I was like the hardest to crack. Like I was in and out of it, and I noticed that. But I do notice that in spaces where maybe I do feel uncomfortable or things are getting serious or whatever else. Like I'll crack a joke or I'll lighten the space or I see someone smile or react in a positive way. I'm like, okay, I feel good based off that. It feels more comfortable.
Tell me about that comfort that comes up for you.
I think I feel valuable.
What would it look like if you were doing the opposite? If you weren't resorting to the jokes?
If I don't, then I don't know. I guess I feel like I'm just there. I don't know. Maybe I don't exist, I suppose. I don't know.
So you feel seen and bringing value.
Yeah. I know the amount of emotion that was behind that smile that I had. Like, it was so interesting to see like how much I could hide in such a good way. Because I was like, I want to explain more. I want to give more detail.
Because of what you've witnessed, you've put on yourself all this pressure about getting it right. Am I right?
Yeah.
One of the things that I like to tell people is you have to be compassionate with yourself when you're trying to undo something that you've learned or that you've seen.
I think it is one thing that totally makes sense is that I do put a lot of pressure on myself. Yeah, I'm the oldest of, 5 sisters, 2 brothers.
You're the role model.
Yeah.
So there's no room for messing up.
It has honestly been really positive for me. I think it validated a lot of my strengths. And I think it made me realize that I'm not as lost or as kind of destined for failure as I thought I was. It's interesting to find the connection overall, like how everything is interconnected. I don't know, maybe the pressure of me having to, deliver and provide and do all these things every day is kind of affecting the fact of connecting with someone.
We have to shift our perspective in that this doesn't just have to be like an emergency room.
Right.
We don't just have to run to therapy when we're bleeding. If we do the work before we get to that point, then there's no need to run to the ER.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Felt like I made it out, like I did it, something. Like, oh God, okay, I made it through the race.
At the time when I was in it, it felt so good. I was like, oh my God, I love this so much. The minute I walked in, the minute I met her, she looked like one of my primas. She looked like she could be a prima of mine. So I was like, love her. Felt so comfortable with her. I felt like right away, I just went, just like opened. Basically, what I wanted to talk about today was I'm newly in a relationship, but I had before then had been a serial dater for very many years. And I recognize that it's a lot to do with my inability or my unwillingness to want to allow people to get in. Like I don't want them to get too close, to get too in. And I think that has to do a lot with growing up like in an abusive household, where I watched the dynamics of a relationship, or what was supposed to be my example of a good relationship, play out in an abusive way. It's interesting because it was difficult to have it on camera, and it was difficult to have it in a way that wasn't putting anybody on blast and putting anybody in my life on blast, because we've come so far. For me, like that's what I would go. I would like to figure out, how do I allow people in a healthy way?
It gets lonely, right?
I don't want to admit it, but I think that's why I go on so many different dates. So basically, we covered how I love people, but I definitely have this wall, specifically with men, and that kind of affects a lot of my relationships with a lot of men in my life.
I'm curious, when you say that you don't want to let anybody in, what do you start telling yourself?
I think that I have built this powerful human being, and I can feel my power when, if I have something in my head that I need to like get over, I'm very much like, let's go out. If I'm sad, I'm like, let's go eat something that you really like. Let's go to a movie. And I think that if I were to let somebody in, if they were to ruin that, it's my fear that if they have ruined it because of my own fault. Like I have given them
The power.
I gave them the power, I gave them the control.
Let's say you're at the point where somebody is hurting you. Just thinking about that, what comes up for you
Emotionally or physically?
emotionally and
Well,
physically?
I immediately am like, oh, like don't cry. Like it's
Yeah.
immediately triggering. But I immediately get placed back into like being that 3-year-old that used to watch all this stuff happen. And it was interesting because we kind of traced it when it started, and it started as like being a little kid. I didn't expect to feel uncomfortable. Like I genuinely went in being like, this is my truth, I need to be open, and I'm so open about a lot of things.
You immediately flash back to being a 3-year-old.
Yeah,
And it becomes pretty scary.
yeah.
Yeah. And so I want you to sit with that just for a moment.
Okay.
What's it like to sit with it?
It sucks. So for me, it was like, oh yeah, like just another thing to be open about. But it's still a thing that this isn't just my story. This was including other people.
Yeah. And so the best way you know to take care of yourself or that 3-year-old self now is by protecting yourself, making
Yeah.
sure nobody's gonna come and hurt you again. What we do is we get in touch with that inner child and we take charge as the adult that we are, because you're no longer that child, right? You have the ability to take care of yourself, to provide for yourself, to love yourself, right? And so I think what I'm hearing is that you recognize that ability, you're very aware of it, but at the same time, it's almost like, well, because I already have it, then I don't need it from anyone else.
That's exactly what that is. You sometimes think, what's wrong with me? Like, why do I not do this? Why do I not act this way? Or why can I not have a relationship like those people over there? And you're like, oh, it's because of something that happened when you were younger. Every time you mention me as a 3-year-old, I get like, fight the tears. Like, I'm
Okay.
like, that's like really...
That's important that you
Yeah.
notice that. So you're fighting the tears back. What are you afraid is gonna happen if you just let them out?
Oh, I don't know. To be able to communicate these things and talk about these things and kind of recognize where that may have started was really powerful. And those are tools that I don't think I would have understood or would have had I not started to dive into therapy a little bit more.
It sounds like the healing that needs to happen is a lot around men for you. And it's doable. Kind of go in circles, exploring and seeing like, what is it that I need to work on? What's wrong here, right? And so notice that I didn't say what's wrong with me, because a lot of the times we internalize that as something that's wrong with ourselves.
Well, I appreciate you so much for listening to me. I know that was a lot to take in like the short time that we shared together.
Yeah. How do you guys feel now?
I feel good. I feel like, oh, I want to do more. Like there's
Yeah.
so much more to explore.
You set up a space for us to open up to you, so I think that's pretty cool. I definitely want to explore that a little bit more.
I think I felt safer in this space versus talking to friends, because it's like I always feel like you're talking too much, or it's like you start feeling like you're just, oh, it's all about me, or
They're not gonna care.
yeah, they're not
Yeah.
gonna care. And
But
let me ask about you.
I care about you.
Oh, I appreciate that.
It changes the dynamic, definitely.
Out of all of us, who's the most up?
My answer to that is gonna be, we're all up in our own way.
Okay.
Oh, thank
So-
you. You're all up. Everyone.
That's not the real.
Was there any difference in just like who we were, how we, you know?
I could clearly sense who probably is more experienced at opening up emotionally. That's one of the things that therapists take into account a lot, is that we get a sense for the client, we get a sense for where you're at, and we meet you there. So that's kind of what I did with each one of you. With you, we got deep pretty quickly,
Yeah.
right? We just went for a dive.
Yeah.
And then with you, we kind of took our time, and we got there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And with you, it was like in and out, right? Like we're dancing, we're back and forth. And so, but we still managed to get deep, and we still managed to get you to experience some of that.
It's the case where like I say like a witty comment, lighten the mood as much as I can to get
Did I
out of
do that
like
a
this
lot?
space. So
No.
yeah.
This one.
I was still a little afraid, even though I was sitting down here joking around. But part of me was like, man, don't cry in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna continue.
Yes.
Thanks to you.
Yes.
I definitely want to explore a little bit more and learn and understand therapy a lot more.
Yes, yeah.
Thank
I like
you.
it.
You put a lot of things into perspective, and thank you for listening to us.
Yeah, thank you
for
so
being
much.
open.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Would I do it again? Would I go in and have more sessions? Yes, I would love that. Would I do it on camera again? Probably never, ever, ever, ever again.
Before I didn't see the point of it, but now I'm able to see what's the point of getting therapy.
Really was able to really hold my hand through that whole experience, and I really appreciated that.
Going in there, it lived up to my expectations. It felt really
I
good.
feel like a lot of the advice that she was giving was very powerful. I feel like she definitely understood me.
But the fact that she was Latin was amazing. It made me feel more comfortable. I felt like she was able to look at me in a way and was able to understand the process, understand the relationship I had with my father, understand the process of being surrounded by multiple siblings in a Latin household.
And I feel like everybody should do it, especially our community. Do it, because hurt people hurt people.